Hey guys, welcome back to RamesGames. Today I'm bringing you RimWorld. It is currently in alpha and recently completed its super successful Kickstarter. I'll have all the necessary links below if you want to support the game. This is more or less a demonstration of the game's current features. This will not turn into a series. Not this specific colony anyways. So just gonna go ahead and jump right in to new colony. You have multiple game modes here. You have Chill Cali Classic, which is a really relaxed, it's kind of like the easy version basically. Then you have Cassandra Classic, which you would call normal. Tough Cassandra Classic, which is a hard version. Phoebe Friendly, that is it's more or less a peaceful mode. And Randy Random is more or less your hardcore, in the sense that unlike the others that gradually increase in difficulty, Randy Random has any amount of events randomized. So instead of your first raider attack having one or two raiders with a pistol or something, they could have the best weapons in the game, and you could only be 10 minutes into your new colony. So you can get wrecked in Randy Random. For demonstration purposes, we can probably just do Cassandra Classic, which is normal. You have an advanced menu where you can choose multiple world sizes, 200 by 200, 225, 225, or 250 by 250. I honestly just recommend 200 by 200. The game is in alpha, therefore not optimized. I have a pretty good computer, but 250 by 250 can really become a problem later on in the game when you start giving multiple orders, like just dragging them and telling them what to do becomes a problem, as well as just running the game. You get about 10 frames a second on my computer, which is fine, no big deal, but I don't really recommend it. 200 by 200 is just fine for anything you might need it for. Alright, and here is your create a character screen. When you start off, you have 3 characters you can choose from. I'm fine with a miner. I want a settler to make sure they are incapable of nothing. And let's go ahead and get a second settler. As long as they're incapable of nothing, I'm not going to really complain about anything. It's just interesting that this settler can't. We need a male. As weird as that sounds. Incapable of intellectual. Yeah, I'll take a scientist. That's whatever. Now we'll go ahead and start. So once the world generates, it tells you that 3 of you awake in your long sleep, blah blah blah, ship explodes, and you hit your drop pods. We're going to go ahead and pause the game. You have 3 different speed settings as well as a pause. 1 times, 2 times, and I believe it's 3 times. I don't think there's anything totally excessive. I could be wrong. Could be like a 5 or a 10 times. I don't really care. If you scroll out, you can see your current setup. This is all mineable rock. Bunch of metal up here. We have a pretty open area we started out in, which could either work out for us or be terrible. So the first thing I'm going to do is start out with a growing area. The issue I'm seeing with this start is the lack of growing space. Go ahead and toss down a solar panel, a battery, and we'll speed it up with the key number 3. Yeah, that looks about 3 times speed versus this. Anyways, now that that's up, let's throw down a sun lamp right here. What this is going to do is allow them to grow at the normal rate, I believe, at night. because you would use a sun lamp with your hydroponics, which we'll get into later. I'm only going to cover things as we go into them, as they are relevant. So as you can see, they're just planting stuff. The tutorial is telling me how to do things. I can actually turn this off during the day. It's raining, and if you don't set a home zone when things explode and fires start, they won't attempt to put them out. And that's no good. Go ahead and sell that and put their sleeping spots closer. Sleeping spots are less efficient than beds. And I really should turn that on, since it's foggy and rain. So you can see it's brightly lit, which should really help these grow. I haven't seen too many people do this, so I personally think it's a pretty decent idea. I'm going to put a nutrient paste dispenser. Basically any food that is gathered and put into storage, they will use that. Unforbid this and have him haul that food. Before I forget, when you start out, there's a gun. And I'm clicking on the cactus, but my last game, the gun spawned behind the cactus. So I was just checking. Oh, there it is. So I'm going to click on my colonists and see which one is the best shooting. Parks is 5, 3, and there's 7. Navy scientist, interesting. Random modifier that probably makes them better at shooting. I'm going to go ahead and gather that food. And I'll go towards the nutrient paste dispenser. Now, what I should be doing is mining this. They're nice enough to give you a nice little starting spot. You want to cancel about half of that. I don't want to give them too much to do at once. Otherwise, it'll never get done. What's this going on? We're just going to have the miner mine and haul. Going to have them grow. They need to all be repairs though. No one else should mine. Plant cutting should be left to the grower. You could mine too. No, because you're the grower. Hauling and cleaning, sure. Set him as the warden. And set him as doctoring. And that should be fine. Space to pause the game. Yes, I know. Thank you. It's a little bit more metal up here. This is a steam geyser. You can throw a geothermal generator on top of it, and it will provide energy, electricity, no matter what, because solar panels, obviously, when the sun goes down, you don't get electricity. So nothing really interesting has happened. Parks is idle. It's because his orders were complete. Go ahead and set that up while they sleep. Hearing random sounds in my computer, not sure why. So what we can actually do is set up a second solar generator. Make sure they're all... I left no one at constructing. That's totally intelligent of me. Considering constructing is a higher priority, the miner should be constructing instead of mining. Kind of confused by this. There we go. So as you can see, these are going quite well. The hauler is hauling those as soon as they are cut, so they're not eating raw potatoes. The thing about eating raw potatoes are they stack. If you see here in the thoughts list, the green positive is a positive modifier to happiness. The negative green is a negative modifier to happiness. And these will be the same as this, either positive or negative, but it goes towards fear. Fear is represented how intimidated someone is in the environment, blah 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 blah. You just try to keep the fear down. It's one way to recruit people, but you don't really want to rule by fear. You want to keep your people as happy as possible. And with that said, I'm going to cut out a small chunk here. Actually cancel that for now. Kind of hoping something interesting happens considering we're on normal. Alright, I'm surprised this sun lamp is not blown up in the rain yet. Alright, now that's that is done. I'm going to go ahead and set up a prison somewhere to store people. Also, this is like probably a terrible way of doing it, but because this won't be part of the series, if I even do a series, it doesn't really matter. Optimization and efficiency is not really my problem. These are boom rats. They're like squirrels, but if you kill them they explode. 3x3 area of fire. Fiery death hell. Set up a power conduit to connect this building to the solar panel that will be built. It's probably time for another battery. Go ahead and throw that in here because it's going to be for a prisoner. So it doesn't really matter. The prisoners aren't as hostile as you might think they would be for being a prisoner. They don't really try to break anything or leave. Okay, stop telling me to do things. What I'm doing here is setting up some rooms for the colonists to sleep in. That way they don't yell at me for having them out in the open. All about keeping people happy. Set up a power conduit. So this is exactly what I was talking about. Things exploding. And a local squirrel has gone mad. As you can see right here, they are fighting a squirrel. I'm going to tell him to fire at the squirrel, which is now dead, so it doesn't really matter. These stockpiles can hold colonists, raiders, or animals. Boomerrat squirrels. Well, I don't think. Whatever. Then these things. Buffalo. They have to haul these rocks out of the way before they can actually build these. And as soon as that's built, we can actually set beds in here. Hoping we get some raiders here pretty soon. I don't want to have to make a second video, as bad as that sounds. Dry thunderstorm. Sweet. Which reminds me, always expand your home zone frequently. If you forget, fire happens everywhere. Didn't mean to do that. That's fine. There's more metal up here if I need it, but I have 600 right now. Ideally, I would like to move this stockpile closer, but it costs 200 to do so. As you can see, fire. Let's watch the fire. And now it's actually raining, so the fire will be put out, which is a nice mechanic, because it makes sense. Nutrient paste dispenser is exploding on me because it's kind of an asshole. And as these beds get built, I can actually... Nice. That battery is also full. Just keep throwing batteries inside here. They'll hate me for it eventually. But not really. Alright, now that we have those 3 beds, we can sell those. That way they sleep in their beds. And they're happier for it. I want that to be prisoner bed. I want you to prioritize finishing that. We're going to call this, I don't know, Ramesville with caps lock on, because I hit it. That's fine. Again, we're not keeping this. So I'm a little shocked raiders haven't attacked me yet. It's kind of annoying. Depending on what happens here, I might go quiet and skip forward. Because I have no idea how long this has been going on for. Cool. Raiders. I didn't have to jump. Alright, so you can see they're a con artist. They have a pistol. Because they're incapable of violent. Okay. This should be interesting. Where's the dude with a gun? Buffy? Yes, because he is a scientist. Also, it'd be a smart idea for me to do this. Go ahead and recruit him. See, they shouldn't be able to shoot at me. Yeah, because they were incapable of violence, even though they have a... Let's make sure this is paused. And recruit. Well, no. We'll discuss that in a second. One of these other guys had a shooting of 5. Yeah, just gonna go and tell him to equip this pistol. And this is how you get guns. Either that, or you can build a comm station and talk to traders to travel over. But we won't be doing that. It's probably the only feature I'm going to skip. Because I believe we have seen them all, things exploding. There are random events. And it's interesting, because when there's flashes of lightning... Come on. When there's flashes of lightning, which look really cool, and it's striking there, it actually gives you power for just a moment. You can see the is just like freaking out. Okay, we're gonna tell this dude to research now. And you have to remember to release them from a draft. And what do? You're a pirate. Great melee and shooting. Wish I would have saved the gun for you. So this is... Ooh. It's terrible. So this is really all there is to the game at the moment. It just getting harder and harder. Gonna redraft him and tell him to arrest. But yeah, this is really all there is. Sometimes a muffalo will go mad. Boom rats will go crazy. There's a random event to send all the squirrels on the map at you. I guess I cannot select all the squirrels. Oh well. So 2 of my guys have a pistol, and I have no clue where this pistol came from. See, these guys are desperately trying to put out that fire. But it'll burn down because the design of the nutrient paste dispenser. Being the back of it being 3x3, I believe. Yeah. Ultimately, the entire thing is 3x5. But they can't get to the middle to extinguish the fires, so it would have taken rain. As much as I don't want to. Home zone. That fire will get crazy if I don't. And again, when you get a prisoner, like I haven't been doing, you have to remember to hit try to recruit in friendly chat. If you don't have any interaction, it's going to be really hard to get their loyalty up. You can execute them, vicious beating, mild beating. I mean, I wouldn't, but I'm kind of not an asshole. So, yeah. This is actually my second time trying to record this. The first time was actually a really good video, however I couldn't use it due to corrupted files and stuff, so sad. There was a feature I have discovered and not seen anyone use, but I don't think I'll be showcasing it in this. It was awesome when I found it, but I feel like it'd be staging it. Cool, they were recruited. I feel like it would just be staging everything, so yeah, I won't be able to do it. I'll leave that for someone else to find out. Right. See, he's starving and has no sleep because I forgot to release him from the draft, which means he could effectively go crazy and start shooting everyone or just leave the colony. And then I would have to arrest him. All kinds of bad. Cargo ship, dropped a bunch of metal. Alright, well that is it for RimWorld. You've basically seen everything there is to see other than random events and the more advanced weapons. So, I will see you guys next time.